This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Hello, welcome to Daily Blast Live, fixing that last button again. It's Thursday, December 12th. I'm here with Brandon, Lindsay, and I'm Tori. Al has the day off, so let's get right to it. It's another historic day on Capitol Hill. The articles of impeachment are being debated. So this is a live look at the House Judiciary Committee, where later today they're going to vote on the matter. But there's another topic out of Washington I think we'd like to discuss a little bit more. Times Person of the Year 16-year-old Greta Thunberg is coming under fire from the president of the United States. Trump mocked her this morning, tweeting, "Greta must work on her anger management problem. Then go to a good old-fashioned movie with a friend. Chill, Greta, chill." Well, Greta responded, changing her Twitter bio to read, "A teenager working on her anger management problem, currently chilling and watching a good old-fashioned movie with a friend." But also check out what Trump's campaign team did. They photoshopped Trump's head onto Greta's body. As you can hear from the studio, we all thought this was a joke. It is not.
No.
I'm going straight to Lindsay on this.
Yeah.
I want to know if you're thinking this is a really bad thing to do to a minor female.
For sure. I mean, Trump is 57 years her senior. He's 73 and she's 16,
right?
So it's almost laughable. I don't think that that's appropriate to ever antagonize a kid, nonetheless a kid with Asperger's. You know, just really obnoxious. Also, give her her moment. She won Time Person of the Year. He won in 2016. Nobody took that moment away from you. I just think it's really inappropriate.
Does it worry you that our president is so threatened by such such easygoing things that he would have to put this out? Does that ever worry your mind?
I just think it's more of an ego thing, that he wants to respond to every single thing. And as president, you have to step out of that. I know as a human being, sometimes you want to respond to stuff, everything that comes at you on Twitter. But as the president, you have to stand a little bit taller than that.
Would you call it bullying?
For sure, yeah. She's 57 years his junior.
Yeah. How weird. And the Be Best campaign from Melania, where is that coming into play?
Well, we actually have that's ironic you say that, Tori, because remember last week when Professor Pamela Karlan mentioned Barron's name in the impeachment hearings, we got this tweet from Melania right here. "A minor child deserves privacy and should be kept out of politics. Pamela Karlan, you should be ashamed of your very angry and obviously biased public pandering and using a child to do it." Now, some people are saying that since Greta is putting herself in politics with the whole climate thing, that she's putting herself in the field and open to being mocked. But after hearing that and then seeing that tweet, Barron is free game to some people now.
I was equally as upset when that happened, when Karlan said that in the meeting. We had a meeting about it early in the morning, and I said, I don't think they should be bringing Barron's name up. So I stand, I think all kids are off the table.
Tori, where do we go from here, Tori?
Well, we certainly go better, but before that, we have a little graphic we want to show you. This is what would happen, we think, if our graphics team got it. There's Trump on the panel.
Now, I was wondering what they were doing over there.
Now, this is our reactions, they think, if this actually happened.
Wow.
That's pretty great. Nice job.
Nice job, graphics team. Very nice.
That's a really nice job.
All right, moving on. This next topic is totally terrifying. We talked about this in the maker room. It freaked us out.
Yeah.
A hacker was apparently able to take over this home security camera that was in an 8-year-old girl's room at a home in Tennessee. And I've got to warn you, the video is extremely bone-chilling. Take a look.
Who is that?
I'm your best friend. I'm Santa Claus.
Mommy!
I'm Santa Claus. Don't you want to be my best friend?
The family has since disconnected the camera. A spokesperson for Ring says, "Well, we are still investigating this issue. This incident is in no way related to a breach or compromise of Ring's security." So they're simply saying this is a Wi-Fi issue with the house.
So the crazy thing is the family bought this Ring security system on Black Friday. So just now got it, set it up. They didn't set up the 2-step authentication, which Ring urges you to do every time you buy this, right? That's the way to block hackers. Not foolproof, but it's a way. And I think that, you know, the mom works overnight. She's a nurse. That's the way she talks to her daughter while she's at work. And this is like a fail. They said no matter what, they're returning it. No 2-step. They just don't want this thing in their house. And, you know, you get so comfortable comfortable with technology, your phone scanning your face, but at what cost are you giving up this freedom?
I say anything in your house that's Wi-Fi can be hackable. Honestly, a baby monitor, the Nest thermometer thing, all those things that makes your house a smart home isn't so smart when you have that weird guy posting in there.
It's scary. I look at it as like a poltergeist for 2019 in a way. You know, like I see some Hollywood director making some sort of movie plot with this. But let's have a little bit of fun with this. If my brother and sister-in-law install this in their apartment, I'm going to use this to get my nieces and nephews to make me a sandwich.
That's a terrible.
It seems like a joke, the things he's telling her to do.
Sandwich.
It's even, it's creepier even than he's like, I'm Santa Claus, I'm your friend. Like, it's so.
Yeah,
but imagine if he told her, like, come outside.
I know.
And then she walked out.
Good
That's the only scary part. But, you know, it does seem like it was pretty harmless. I'm Santa Claus. But break the TV is something he also said, which is weird.
It sounds like Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come.
Brandon's right, horror movie.
That's true. The actress behind this viral Peloton ad is speaking out, and you'll never guess who Monica Ruiz is blaming for why the ad sparked so much controversy. Here's what she had to say on the Today Show.
I mean, honestly, I think it was just my face. Like,
What do you mean?
I think it was my fault. My eyebrows looked like worried, I guess.
This is the part of the ad that she is referring to, saying her eyebrows look worried. I saw so many tweets that were like, I am terrified for my life for this Peloton girl because of that eyebrow thing.
And didn't you guys see Get Out? Doesn't she look like she's like in the sunken place? They did it side by side. I couldn't find it online, but of the guy's face who was going in the sunken place and hers, and both of their eyebrows have that exact same wave.
The real winner of this is Ryan Reynolds in Aviation Gin.
Smart move.
Because remember, they took this same girl, she used that same face in their online commercial 15 days after this ad aired. And now look, Aviation's stock has gone up.
And you know how Ryan Reynolds did it? He sent her unlimited supply of gin and then asked her to be in the commercial. And they filmed it in a day.
That'll get you.
That's the smartest thing to do. Someone should hire Ryan Reynolds for their Democratic presidential campaign because that's smart turnover. Huh?
That was pretty smart.
Thanks, guys. All right, remember how, I love this movie, Olivia Newton-John's iconic black leather jacket from Greece. It was sold at a charity auction last month. Remember, she was raising funds for breast cancer since she herself is a survivor. Well, it went on for a whopping $243,000. That's some Grease lightning. But things got emotional for her when the anonymous bidder brought Olivia a gift. You gotta see this.
The odds of beating a recurrent cancer using the newest emerging therapies is 1,000-fold greater than someone appearing out of the blue, buying your most famous and cherished icon, and returning it to you, which is what I'm going to do right now.
Are you serious?
So if you didn't know, that makes me teary-eyed. There's a 71-year-old bidder. He's anonymous. That's why his face is blurred. And he is a big collector of everything Grease. And Olivia Newton-John says it is the soundtrack to his life.
Right, and just to give it back to her and know all that money that he gave is basically just going to cancer research. Hats off to him. That was beautiful.
Do you know who has the pants?
Who?
Sarah Blakely, the owner of Spanx.
Spanx,
She
that's
has,
right,
she
she
has the
bid on
pants.
it.
Now she has pressure to give him back.
Yeah, she's got to give that back.
Why'd you just put her on blast?
Sarah, we want to move on to this very interesting story. Home Depot, we've all shopped there, is having a very serious problem with thefts in its stores. CEO Craig Meiner recently told analysts and investigators that he thinks the recent spike in thefts is due to the opioid crisis. But he says, I'm not positive about that.
Okay.
So here's the deal.
Interesting.
They have lost so much money from thefts that they have literally brought their profit of margin down. Like, it's hurting the investors now. Oh. We're talking millions and millions of things being lost. He's saying it's the opioid crisis, doesn't give any explanation as to why. And if it was the opioid crisis, this seems very organized. He says it's an organized group. Why would he say that?
Yeah, that's kind of irresponsible in the way. Like, you can blame, I guess you don't want to blame your security team, or even we know that Home Depot, a lot of veterans work there, so maybe he doesn't want to blame them, so he's throwing it on the opioid crisis. But have you seen someone on opioids opioid before? Like, can you imagine them going in and trying to steal a leaf blower? Like, you're gonna automatically know who that person is. Like, come on now.
It is, but and Home Depot's wide open if you think about it. There's not a lot of security there.
But these are multi-million-dollar schemes he's basically saying that people on opioids are committing. And I just think that maybe he's a CEO who's worried about his job because profits aren't as high as they used to be. You said millions are missing. This is a multi-billion-dollar company.
Fair point.
Yes.
So
That's
maybe I just think he doesn't want to be on the chopping block, so relinquish himself of all guilt. Pass it over to people who they can't be accounted for.
I mean, don't put the suffering people on blast. Put that girl from Spanx on blast.
And his quote was so ridiculous. Like, I think, no facts.
Yeah, but I'm not positive. All right, Home Depot. Well, DBL is live and coming up. Two friends since childhood vanish on the same day. The haunting clues that could prove they were together in True Crime Chronicles. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. A California official is floating the idea of housing the homeless on cruise ships. It's not a joke. We're sharing your comments coming up next.
I really want to know what you guys think about this Home Depot thing. He said, we think it's tied to the opioid crisis. This is the CEO of Home Depot, but we're not positive about that. That is just such a generalization and a statement that it's ridiculous. I think that's like a bit much to say.
And I wonder what would make him say something like that. Like, you know you're going to get some sort of backlash from that, especially because we're dealing with the opioid crisis, and it is, like, we just passed that opioid act, or I forget, I read it earlier. But
it feels like smoke and mirrors a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, look this way, because I'm losing money in the company, because quarterly profits are due for fourth quarter, so you can go into 2020 and see how much you made.
But I wonder, did he not want to touch up? Remember, Home Depot lost a lot of money when we found out that he was a Trump supporter as well. Remember, there was that full backlash with that. So it can be an accumulation of things, and you don't want to throw people under the bus that maybe work for you. Like I said, there's a lot of veterans that work for Home Depot. You don't want to throw that under the bus, so you just say, yeah, it's the people high on those opioids.
Yeah.
But those are the people that are high on those opioids. A lot of the time, a lot of those veterans, too.
Working, but that are working there as well?
I mean, a lot of the working public is trapped on opioids.
That's unfortunate.
Happy Friday, Junior, everybody.
Friday Junior.
Well, we're not supposed to.
I can't believe it's Friday Junior.
I feel like this week has gone on. Really?
I feel like it's flown by. I'm like, Thursday?
Flown by. And DBL Nation, I'm going to go ahead and apologize to my homegirl, Tori, right here, calling her a snowflake.
Stop it. Stop it. You do not have to apologize. I got a lot. Stop it. I got a lot of
each other on here. We get in arguments.
We do. But on Twitter, I got snowflake.
Really?
I was like, whoa, it's snowing.
Well, you didn't stick up for me with the
Listen, brothers and sisters, they fight. That's just what happens. But they make up the next day. Because guess what? You can't get rid of family.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for a fifth host, and a creative solution for Oakland's rapidly rising homeless population has us talking. So retired cruise ships could potentially start housing the city's 4,000 plus homeless. Although this could provide much needed shelter for many, docking, security, and health issues are actually serious concerns for those not in favor of this proposal. So DBL Nation, is this a good idea, a bad idea? Let's float the idea. Get it?
Oh.
That was clever. Okay, Mac from Twitter says, this feels like a conspiracy to get rid of homeless by subjecting them to deadly situations. Round them up and wipe them out. I just think that, you know, I think the spokesperson for the port over there in Oakland said that this is not going to work because they're made for certain type of boats, not cruise ships. And so I think while this is a grandiose idea, we tried this with Hurricane Katrina, and the cost was $50,000 per person over 6 months. Wow. And so a lot of people got backlash, even Republicans, about that proposal. So I just don't think that this is the way to move forward because they cost a lot of money to keep those things running all day.
Interesting.
Okay. Cheryl from Facebook says, there is no harm in trying. If it works, great. It will give the city time to come up with something more permanent. entertainment. I kind of agree with you here, Cheryl, because I feel like this is a Band-Aid to a deeper solution or deeper problem. But would you rather them on the boats, away from your tourism and away from your downtown? Because if you think about it, think about the tent encampments, think about the litter, the trash that's out there on the streets, think about the business owners who have to wake up every morning and have to get them away from their property so that they can get business and actual customers to come in there. So I understand what people are saying in terms of how much it costs, but there are a lot of people frustrated with this problem right now.
And I get that, because they said that every time they move them, they move to a new location and they have to get police, and that costs a lot of money to get them in that area. So.
It's a fair point to bring that up. Well, Dick from Facebook says it's not a good idea. Oakland will just raise taxes again to pay for the shelters on the ships. How about lowering taxes there so that people can afford to stay in their houses? So, Dick, this is my thing. I don't like giving ideas for solving homeless a bad name, because I think we need all the ideas. We are so out of ideas. Nobody's coming up with ideas. I think this is a really creative idea. We did it for people in FEMA housing. It can work maybe for a temporary basis, but I don't want to poo-poo anyone for coming up with an idea to at least elevate them into some dignified way of housing. At least they're trying this idea. So I don't want to poo-poo it. I'm not sure that the whole idea would work, but I'm not going to put it down because I want to keep coming up with ideas.
And I think that same, when it was proposed, that's what she said, is that this is just a starting ground, this is an idea, and please just be open to it. We're not finalized by any means. It has to get approved by several people.
We got to think outside the box. It's not working, whatever we're doing. So we got to think outside the box here. Well, coming up on DBL, a mystery in Arkansas when two women who were friends since childhood go missing on the same day. It is a chilling story in today's True Crime Chronicles.
Trivia Christmas with everyone, so please play along. We're starting with this. Arnold Schwarzenegger faced his toughest opponent yet in Christmas shopping season in Jingle All the Way. What was the name of the trendy toy? Anyone? Stu? Stu? What was the name of the toy Schwarzenegger wanted to get? What is it? Turbo Man is correct. All right, let's move on. What comedy... oh, that's boring. In How the Grinch Stole Christmas, starring Jim Carrey, what's the name of the dog?
Bonkers.
Is it Max, Milo, or Sam?
Milo.
It is Max. Arash is correct.
I think it is.
An eternal holiday favorite is A Wonderful Life takes place in which fictional town? Paradise Falls, Langley Falls, or Bedford Falls? I think it's. I've never seen it. It's Bedford Falls. A teenager gets more than he bargained for in Gremlins. Which Disney film do the furry critters end up watching in a movie theater?
Really hurt his leg over.
In the Gremlins, is it Sleeping? Well, we'll never know.
Welcome back to DBL. Almost 6 years ago, childhood best friends vanished on the same day. Their disappearance sent shockwaves throughout Arkansas. What caused these women to disappear without a trace? We have a look in DBL's True Crime Chronicles.
A mystery continues to linger in Little Rock, Arkansas. What happened to these childhood best friends? 36-year-old Shakita Burnett.
She was my sister, I confided in her and everything.
Not only a sister, but also a mother and a talented sketch artist, and best friends with 34-year-old Turkisa Wallace.
She was very funny, outgoing, popular, had a lot of friends.
Turkisa was also a mother with a big personality.
She had this loud, obnoxious laugh that was infectious.
The mystery unfolded in January 2014. When Chiquita's mother hadn't heard from her daughter for days, she reports her as missing. The next day, Turquesa's mother calls the police with the same concern.
At that point, I started believing that they were together, since they were both communicating with each other. They were also pinging off the same tower.
Cell phone records revealed they communicated days before they vanished. Then, pure silence.
What could have happened? Where were they going? What was going on that night?
The case went cold. No sign of the women or their cars.
It took me years to stop chasing every white Toyota Corolla that I saw.
Then, almost a year later, a fisherman made a gruesome discovery. He caught a human leg, and the DNA confirmed it was Chiquita's.
To lose a child in this way is, man, it's so heavy. And then you just feel so helpless.
So at that point, you have a homicide, at least one.
Right.
Do you think you probably have two?
You could assume that they're both dead.
But with no proof or sign of Turquesa, her family holds on to hope that she will come home.
It's like I've been holding my breath this entire time. Let me breathe again.
Earlier, Sam, Lindsay, and I spoke with a reporter who covered the case in North Little Rock. Take a look.
And we are joined now by anchor and reporter Dawn Scott from our sister station, THV 11 in Little Rock. Now, Dawn, Chiquita's leg, I mean, this is a horrific story, and I hate even saying this out loud, was found, right, by that fisherman. But not a trace of the other woman, Turquesa. After covering this case for so long, what do you think happened to her? Do you believe that they were together?
I believe that, and police believe that. The North Little Rock Police Chief Mike Davis told me very early on, when they began to piece together information that led them to believe that these women were together on that last night that they were ever heard from. They do believe that they met a terrible fate and that they were likely together. They are investigating this as a double homicide. They are investigating both of these women's disappearances as murder.
Wow. Well, North Little Rock PD feels someone in the community has to know something. They have offered a $2,000 reward. I want to know, on your instincts and knowing this case, do you believe this will bring in some credible tips?
Well, people know something, and as the police chief told me, I mean, how often are police chief actually involved in homicide cases? He is so passionate about solving this. He believes someone should be in jail for these murders, and he believes that there is someone out there, or more than one person out there, with information. In fact, since this story aired in our market here in Little Rock, they've received phone calls. They actually asked one person of interest to come in for a polygraph test. Wow. That person never showed up, and they haven't been able to locate that person since.
Wow.
And Dawn, both women had children and families, so how are they doing today?
Well, they're being raised by relatives, very caring, very loving people that we've actually met and interviewed, some that were part of the story that you saw. They're doing well, but obviously it's a loss. It's a loss of a mother, and in one case, a grandmother.
Right. Yeah, a heartbreaking and gruesome story, Dawn. Thank you so much. We pray that they get the justice that they deserve. And if you think that you know anything about this case, please call North Little Rock PD. And to learn more or listen to the podcast, you can go to thv11.com. We will be right back. Thank you, Dawn.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Awesome, guys. So we're back in the studio. Now, we're talking about skin here. And for these three products, I wanted to make sure that you guys could actually see what they do. So first up is going to be the Aveeno Cleanser. Like I was saying, it's going to be the positive radiant version, and it has plenty of vitamin C in it to make sure that you're looking bright and beautiful. Now, this guy's super important for morning and night because your glow starts with your skincare, guys. So when you're doing this, we're just going to use a little water bottle here.
Spritz it up.
Ooh, you know? And then we're going to take a little bit of the cleanser here. One pump should be plenty, but first you got to get that pump going, sis. Here we go, here we go. There we go. And as you can see, it has that little shimmery reflect there, which is why I love this. Now, there's a little bit, I think like a little mica, titanium dioxide business going on with it, but it's so nice just because it really helps to brighten the skin almost immediately.
of that.
I love
the
this stuff.
smell
And
how it looks.
this guy was so affordable. Once again, 3 under 30, guys. We're trying not to be super expensive because we know the holidays can be a little pricey. You know what I mean? Now, with number 7, Protect and Perfect Intense Advanced Serum. This guy is amazing because it has what's called Matrixyl 3000 in it. Now, that's a super advanced skincare ingredient that's helping to slow down the signs of aging, but it also is going to have ingredients like vitamin C in it once again, and hydrolyzed collagen in it as well to make sure that it's plumping and hydrating the skin out as well too. Now, with this guy, I like to take a little bit, ooh, it's just oozing out, sis,
that
okay?
was so full, yeah.
It was ready.
There you go.
And good for your money once again.
There
And
you
this
go.
guy's right at $29.99, which is at a great cost for a serum once again. So it's right at that $30 threshold. And with this, you only need a little bit, and I like to use my ring fingers. I'm gonna do a little bit on you, okay? We want to make sure that we're taking care of it and we're really just giving that gentle push for that just enough action to happen, okay?
Okay.
Now, last but not least, my favorite, the Cetaphil Hydrating Eye Gel Cream. Now, this is great for daytime use, especially because it's a gel. It's not gonna sit super thick underneath your eye. However, once again, a little bit goes a long way.
Wow,
you really don't need a lot. And a lot of gals will use, like you were just saying, you've used an eye cream forever.
Yeah.
And most gals will do a huge dollop, like a sour cream, sis. This ain't Taco Bell, okay? You only need a pea-sized amount to brighten the eye. Now, this guy has hyaluronic acid in it once again. Best friend for aging, just for taking care of our skin in general, because we want to keep continuing that hydration in our skin, but it also has vitamin C to brighten underneath the eyes. So if you've had a hard night where you might have not slept a whole lot, this is gonna be really great for you to make sure that you have that little brightening. Now, I'm gonna take a little bit. Good to go. And it's just gonna lock in that hydration for you.
Yeah.
So that's our skincare boo-boo. Make sure you're tuning into our next video to see what we do with hair or makeup. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
All right, guys, we want to introduce you to the megaphone today. It is, should food labels include information about the physical activity needed to burn off the calories? So if you eat a bag of chips, instead of saying calories, it tells you you would need 45 minutes on the treadmill to blank, blank, blank. So do you think that's helpful? It's overkill, or don't read labels? So waistlines are continuing to expand. I know I look fantastic, but most people are having trouble. So could this help? Could this hurt? Go on the treadmill. Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. Lindsay, what do we have?
People are all fired up about our 5th host. So Ray says if the average cruise ship can hold 3,000 passengers, then LA would need 20 to 25 cruise ships. Ridiculous. And it's good to know this is not in LA. It's in Oakland, but still, that's a lot of cruise ships. And then someone else, Alexander, said, what's the cost of docking those ships on the land? Retired boats, right? Talk about expensive real estate. And I think to keep those things running on water and, you know, all the electricity for all the rooms that were unoccupied, part of the problem when they did it for Hurricane Katrina was that like 8% of the boat was occupied. No one wanted to float on land, even when they had an option for a lower income housing. So
it's not perfect.
No, another thing people were talking about was the trash getting into the ocean. Let's say they are on water.
Didn't think
Just
about
think of that trash getting into the ocean.
And any kind of again, I think about the what do you call them? The shots when you say when you see them all over. But I got to be honest, it's better than being on the street.
Being on the street,
better than anything.
So will they have like a full staff on the ship also? Because that's an entire workforce that they're going to need.
But it's more work for you. You're absolutely right. We're back and forth on this. Let us know what you think. But be good to each other, because we're facing that uphill battle, aren't we all? We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.